So let's go back to the conversation that a lot of people have, and especially in years where the market's pretty volatile, um, in talking about Roth conversions. And obviously, taxes probably won't be going down. There's always that prospect of tax rates going up in the future. But can you walk through some pros and cons of doing maybe a partial or a full Roth conversion and kind of what to think about before completing one?
Yeah, so Roth conversions, there's something, if you've got traditional IRAs, most everyone should at least consider it. And if you do think that you're going to be paying higher taxes in the future on your traditional IRA distributions, then you should definitely be considering a conversion to a Roth. So some of the benefits, there's kind of four main benefits that I think about. So number one, it's going to provide lower taxes if you think that the tax rates are going to be increased. So overall, even though you might be paying them up front, you would be paying lower taxes. And then once you convert it to a Roth, it's tax-free. All the growth and all the earnings on the Roth account are completely tax-free. And so, that's just a no-brainer on the back end. There's no RMD. There's no required minimum distribution. To me, that's just huge. You don't have to take anything out of your IRA. And if you don't think you're going to need it, and you want it to go to your heirs, yes, it will be taxable to them, but during your lifetime, no required minimum distributions whatsoever. And plus, you can still withdraw from it. The only caveat there is you need to be at least 59 and a half and have had a Roth in existence for at least 5 years. So those are, I think, some of the benefits for sure. Some drawbacks, we don't really have a crystal ball probably on the tax rates. I don't know if you've got one. I'd like to have one, but
I wish.
I know. So if taxes don't go up and they go down, then maybe you will end up paying higher taxes in the current year. And another drawback is that the tax is due during the year in which you do the conversion. So it's usually a large chunk. That's where maybe a partial conversion might be considered. You might want to think about that a little bit more. And then the other thing is you really want to take funds from outside the IRA to be able to pay for the tax. That's really kind of the only way it's going to be beneficial for you. So you not only have to pay the tax, but you've got to pull it out of other funds that are, could be used for other things that you want to, your discretionary funds, let's just say. So, at Hightower, you probably have IRA accounts and retirement accounts, but then you've got their other general investments. And so you're going to have to take from those accounts and spend down that money. And then one caution too that some people don't realize, but you cannot convert inherited IRAs to a Roth. So some people, I had to kind of bring them down off the shelf. They can't do that because those have those required minimum distributions usually in place. So,
right.
And then another thing that I think some people have in place that they really need to consider is who are the beneficiaries of their IRAs? Do they potentially have a charitable beneficiary? If you have a charitable beneficiary making a Roth conversion, it's never going to be taxed when the charity receives it. So paying the tax now, unless you really feel you're going to live a long time, it might not be beneficial from that perspective. But it's still something to think about. I don't know. Those are some thoughts that I had. So
yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's our biggest takeaway for a lot of our clients is making sure that we're filling up those lower tax brackets and doing a lot of the partial Roth conversions, but also making sure that they're aware that tax due needs to come from somewhere else because the numbers don't make sense.
Not at all.
When you take it out of the IRA distribution, it just doesn't really work.
It doesn't work at all. Yeah. So you really want to factor that in. And considering partial distributions definitely is something that some people might want to consider going forward.
Great.
Yeah.